For a limited time, get a 7-day all-access pass, which includes all sports, all client releases, and all 5% best bets. Now discounted from $119 to just $99. That comes out to just over $14 a day. Now, this price is good through Sunday at midnight, and you can buy as many discounted 7-day all-access passes that you want until the clock strikes midnight.
Welcome into First Pitch, WagerTalk's premier MLB betting show for Thursday, May 27th. We got 4 games on the slate, the night slate. So hopefully you're parlaying your day game winners into tonight's action. We got some analysis for you. Best bets at the end. 2 handicappers with a lot of baseball betting knowledge on with me. We got Dave Koken and Marco D'Angelo from WagerTalk.com. First up here, Marco. Welcome in. You're hot right now. Last 27, 19, and 8, and you got your 5% American League play of the month up. So check it out, guys, at WagerTalk.com. Seeing it well on the diamond, Marco. Welcome in. Happy Thursday morning to you.
Hey, thanks, Drew. Yeah, it's been a great NBA season for me in baseball. I'm one of those handicappers that I get stronger as the season goes on, and I get more data to work with. And like you said, 19 and 8 on the last 27, and I got one tonight I like a lot, putting out a rare 5% play. You check it out over at WagerTalk.
Yeah, absolutely. Highest rated play there, guys. So check it out. Experts page, Marco D'Angelo. We got Dave Koken as well. Welcome in, Dave. Happy Thursday morning to you, buddy.
Thank you. I just won a golf matchup. I don't play many first-round matchups in golf, but this was – I really should have made this a bigger play. Phil Mickelson was you talk about the dead spot of all time. And Justin Rose sets up well on this course. It's a 5-stroke winner. Kind of irritated with myself for not making it a bigger play, but at least it's a win. And a couple of games in progress in baseball. I've got a hockey play tonight, which is the only thing I've got available for the evening. But I do want to remind people that right now there's a great special at Wager Talk, not just for me. It's for every handicapper there. You can get 7 days of all access. Any capper you like, $77, $11 a day for all access. You might want to try 2 or 3 with a price like that. So you might want to consider me, consider Marco, or anybody else at Wager Talk.
Check it out, guys. WagerTalk.com. First game up here, Marco. We got the night slate. So it's the last 4 games on the card here. St. Louis Cardinals, Arizona Diamondbacks. Gosh, Marco, the Diamondbacks are in free fall right now. 10 straight losses. Going up against the Cardinals here. Carlos Martinez on the hill. Peacock going for the Diamondbacks. Seeing almost what a pick'em price now. Diamondbacks, I'm seeing -110, 9.5 being the total. You liking anything in the desert tonight, Marco?
I got to tell you, Drew, I want to know who it is that keeps betting the Diamondbacks the last few days, because we keep seeing the line drop on this team. Is they're taking some money from somebody, and it's wrong again last night. They had a 4-0 lead, looked like they were cruising, go into the 6th inning, give up half the lead in the 6th, and then they get into the deeper into the bullpen, and another implodement late in the game for this team. I can't back them right now, and I hate going against something that looks, or taking something that looks so obvious, and that's what St. Louis does. But right now, you can't bet this Arizona team. 10 straight losses. You look at the lineup, basically, and Dave's somebody that, is a lot stronger on looking at lineups than, me. I look at, numbers and such. But I can tell you that this isn't much better than a minor league team. You've got 3 starting position players out of the lineup. That's a 30-year lineup, that's not there. They're not hitting the baseball. And then when they get into that bullpen, it just gets worse. This is one where I lean to St. Louis, but St. Louis on their own part is struggling right now to score some runs. They have not put up a lot of runs. 5 games, the last 5 games, how about only 11 runs for the Cardinals? But I can't take any part of Arizona. Where I lean into this game is a lean to St. Louis. I also would consider the under in here because I just don't see where Arizona is going to get their runs. And as I said, St. Louis is struggling. And here's a little stat for the under. Arizona's 12-4 to the under this season following a loss by 2 runs or less. And that's what they had last night. So lean to St. Louis and a lean to the under for me.
Okay, I like it, Marco. Yeah, leaning towards the under here, Dave. And you know, I almost have to check it here, Dave, on the Wager Talk odds screen to make sure, you know, my book didn't have something off because like Marco talked about, somebody's betting the Diamondbacks here. They're actually going off at favorites at most books. I'm trying to find reasons why. You know, this kid Peacock, I guess we don't find many 23rd round selections that make it to the majors within, 4 years here. He was a reliever. Now he's a starter. He has a good ground ball rate, but we're really searching for reasons why here on the Diamondbacks, this 10-game losing streak. But interested in your take here, the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks, Dave.
Well, in watching the game last night against the Giants, I had a pretty good-sized circle around Arizona for today's game because it looks like they're going to win, snap the 9-game losing streak, have a little positive momentum coming into Thursday's game, series opener against the Cardinals team that's coming out of a pretty exciting series against the White Sox. A good scheduling situation for Arizona, but I thought Torey Lavillo kind of blew the game last night. I would have gone with Merrill Kelly longer than he did. His pitch count wasn't that high, and he was in total control. But he took him out, brings in Clark, and then Clark has a really easy inning, and he takes him out. I just don't get it. I mean, I thought it was a mistake in managing. The back end of the Arizona bullpen has been terrible, and it was again last night. And then now they blow the lead. They're down 5-4. Get to the bottom of the 9th, and here's Arizona with a great chance to pull out the win. They get the bases loaded with 1 out. They've got their 2 and 3 hitters up. Nothing. Walk off the field with a 5-4 loss. Well, I can't play them off 10 losses in a row. So I'm kind of stuck here because I think the situation does favor the Diamondbacks, but I don't want any part of that baseball team right now. And from a value standpoint at this point, I guess you'd look at the Cardinals. Carlos Martinez, I'd give him an edge, at least over Matt Peacock. And, I mean, the Diamondbacks are just unplayable to me right now. So I'm passing the game, but it's just a conflict here. Scheduling dynamics definitely favor the home team. Nothing else does.
Yeah, Dave, I'm with you. Just tough to be on a team that's lost 10 straight games to pick the spot that they win the game. So, some dynamics pointing towards the home team D-backs, but just a tough one to step in front of, guys. We got next game up here on the West Coast, Dave. This is a good one here. The LA Angels, Ohtani on the hill, the MVP candidate here, going against Bassett, who's been good as well, Dave. At the Oakland Athletics here, 9:40 Eastern, 6:40 Pacific. We're seeing 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing out towards center field, 60 degrees projected here in Oakland. Bassett having faced just LA just in his last start, so it makes for a tricky handicap almost, Dave. We're seeing near a -150 price tag here on the A's, 7.5 the total in Oakland. What are you liking here, Angels and A's, Dave?
Hasn't been a lot of positive stuff to talk about with the Angels, but they are coming out of a 3-game sweep against the Rangers. That was good for them. Their bullpen almost blew it again yesterday. That bullpen is terrible. And they were up 9-1 and had to hang on for a 9-8 victory. Don't think Iglesias will be available tonight because he pitched a lot last night. But at least they're coming in with some momentum. The Ohtani thing is what has me a little bit confused here. His last start, his velocity was down. So you wonder if there's a little dead arm going on there. Now, he managed to negotiate his way through to a quality start, but he clearly did not have his usual steam on the ball. And I do want to see if it was just a 1-game blip as far as that goes, and if he's back to normal with his velocity, or if this is something that the Angels might have to be a little concerned about. So that it makes it tough to figure out what Ohtani's going to do here. It's strictly a guess. Bassett's been really good. The A's, tough team, better on the road than at home this year. I think at the price, maybe you give a little look to the Angels. It's not going to it didn't make my card. I'll lean to the Halos, but it's not with much conviction.
And Marco, what are you thinking here in the American League West matchup in Oakland tonight?
Yeah, you look at this one, guys, and I look at Ohtani, and I'm going to build on what Dave was talking about. The Angels, once you get to the bullpen, you're going to hold your breath in almost every game. And the fact that they used their key guy last night and you got Ohtani on the mound, where I just don't think you're going to see him go deep into the game. You got to watch the pitch count with Ohtani because of the special player he is. He's not just a pitcher, and he's more important to this team in the lineup as a hitter in the field than he is as a pitcher, in my opinion. I don't like him in this spot. I like Chris Bassett. All of the spotlight's going to be on Ohtani because, he's that, abnormal. You're not used to seeing a position player and a pitcher, like we see with Ohtani. And he's got a great following and a lot of hype every time he takes the mound. Bassett's been solid for Oakland all year long. He's been their best pitcher by far. And you look at his last 8 starts, 7 of the 8 starts, he's given up 2 runs or less, guys. 2 runs or less. This is a guy that's pitching well. Look at those 7 games. Last 7 games, strikeout to walk ratio, 54-7. And nobody's talking about Bassett. I'm going to go ahead and take Oakland. They got a win yesterday. Like Dave started to say about the Arizona game where they had, they were losing and then they got a win. Well, Oakland had a little mini slide of their own. They got the job done yesterday. And this is a team, if you look at them over the years, are very streaky. The A's either lose in bunches or win in bunches, it seems. And I'm going to go ahead and take them tonight. And when you look at it, when they're coming off a game, playing at home, following a win, they're 60-29. The last 3 seasons are the A's. And the A's also at home, after allowing 4 runs or less 3 straight games, last 3 seasons, 31-11. I'll go ahead and ride those numbers with the A's and the better bullpen once we get to it. And Bassett, I expect to give us more innings than Ohtani. It all lines up to me to take Oakland.
Marco, that was a great breakdown. You bring up a lot of great points towards the A's. I got a handicapping question for you because Bassett going up against this Angels lineup off of 4 days rest, back-to-back times these Angels hitters going to see him here. He did go over 7 innings, like you talked about, only 2 earned runs with that K to walk ratio being very, very good. But how much do you think that factors into maybe an Angels advantage, or do you think it just doesn't matter at all when a pitcher sees the same lineup twice in a row here?
Well, obviously, Drew, anytime you get that situation, the thought process is that the advantage shifts to the hitters because they just saw that pitcher. We always talk about with the young pitchers how much of an edge they have first time through the league and teams seeing them, especially the first time through the lineup, and that's why when, these starters that, you have the bullpen by committee work so well is because a lot of pitchers do well the first time through the lineup. And then when they see them the second time, that's when the numbers start to go down. But again, I'm looking at the whole body of work with him. And then I'm looking at the big edge that we have with the Oakland bullpen over the Angel bullpen on a normal circumstance. But given the last 3 games of what the Angels have done and the number of runs they gave up, and then having to use their star closer for an extended period yesterday, that's all stuff that you have to dig into the box scores to get and see when you have an advantage, where there's more value in the line because of who's available and not available. Yeah, the books look at all that same stuff, but I don't know that they put as much emphasis on who's available and who's not on a daily basis because they're, they're watching the games, but I guarantee you the guys at the sports book aren't watching all the games like Dave Koken is. Dave doesn't miss anything. And that's a huge advantage. That's part of Dave's. That's what amazes me about Dave. I tell people stories all the time, Drew. When we did radio shows together, I'd be pulling in and I'd be unpacking my bag. I'd have 5 pages of notes for a 1-hour show because I need I have to prep. This guy here, right. He just shows up and, all right, let's go.
I know.
That's a compliment, Dave, but boy, you pissed me off a lot doing that.
Dave. Dave always brings it. And like we see in the chat box, Dave, people love your analysis all the time. You just kind of sit back and throw out what you think on the games. I love it, man.
Well,
but
for whatever
good
reason, I've always been pretty good at retaining information. I don't know if that'll hold up once I get really to the senior years because those things have a tendency to change. But I've been fortunate as far as that goes. That's why I always tested well, because I retain information well. By the way, quick note on this Angels-A's game. It's one of those weird stats, and I don't know that it means much, but the A's are 1-3 when Bassett starts at home and 6-0 in his road starts. So the road team is 9-1 so far in the starts that Chris Bassett has made. Again, I don't think that's a huge. It's just one of those quirky stats, but it's something to look at anyway.
Yeah, information is king in this business, sports betting. And guys, you just heard Marco break down analysis on this Angels-A's game. You can check out his 5% American League game of the month, WagerTalk.com. It's going tonight. His biggest play, top-rated play here at WagerTalk.com. We got next game up, a good one in the NL West, Marco. We get the San Francisco Giants and the LA Dodgers. Dodgers pitcher still to be determined here, and we're getting them at a minus 120 price now. This is about the lowest you can get the Dodgers. Not the lowest, but very low price tag on the Dodgers. Now they're going up against the Giants. Obviously, the Giants have been good. 10.5 being the total here. Alex Wood on the hill, the lefty, the 30-year-old UGA product here, the University of Georgia product. He's been good this season. What are you thinking here? Giants and Dodgers NL West tonight, Marco.
Yeah, well, everybody expected the Dodgers to be in first place at this point of the season, but nobody expected the Giants to be right there with them, and at least I didn't. I thought the Giants would be improved, but they have really exceeded my expectations so far on the season. You've got Alex Wood going. This is a quick revenge series. We saw these two hook up last week in San Francisco. Dodgers took care of business there, winning the series. But if you remember, San Francisco was returning home from that long East Coast road trip. Now, granted, they're not going to be flat for the Dodgers, but still, it takes its toll. It's a West Coast team, returning from the East Coast. That's always a disadvantage. Now we've got the Dodgers are the ones that are returning home. We have that question mark as far as who's going to be pitching. The early guy I saw, and he only went 2 innings last time, was David Price. I don't know if we're going to see that again, if we're going to have a bullpen by committee job. But I like the Giants as an underdog. I think the advantage is to them in this one. Wood's been good enough for me here. He's got very sharp ERA in 7 starts of 1.93. He's got a whip of 1.02. He's going to keep his team in the game. Both bullpens, it's a little bit strange. When you talk about bullpens and you see two teams with ERAs under 4, you want to give the bullpen a thumbs up. But the Dodger bullpens had 11 blown saves, and you've had 10 blown saves for the Giants. So although they're putting up good numbers, you can't always rely on them to close it out at the end. I'll look at San Francisco as a road underdog this season, guys. How about 10-3 as a road dog of plus 150 or less? I'll go ahead and ride the value with the Giants.
All right, looking towards the Giants here in one of the nightcaps, Dave. What are you thinking here with 2 of the top 3 teams in the NL West facing off tonight, Dave?
Well, look, from a scheduling dynamic standpoint, it clearly favors the Giants. They've got some momentum coming out of a nice series at Arizona where they swept. They have the revenge from the series at home where they got swept by the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are coming out of a big series against Houston. Okay, that was a series that got a lot of attention, a lot of bad blood between those two teams. I think it's kind of a dead spot for the Dodgers. The problem here, there's 2 problems. One, I don't know what the pitching is going to be like for the Dodgers. I think probably Price will be involved here. I don't know whether he starts, but he's certainly going to pitch in this game. And the other thing is the Giants lineup. They're starting to get some injuries. Now they've made great use of their depth so far this season. Kapler's done a really good job at getting the whole team involved on basically a nightly basis. I mean, he substitutes about as much as anybody in baseball. But Darren Ruff's now out. Brandon Belt's now out. Flores is hurt. I mean, they're not superstars, although Belt's been really good and Ruff's been hitting for power. That does change the dynamic a little bit. The other thing is, I just don't think I'm getting my money's worth as far as the price is concerned. We talked about this on Tuesday when I was on last about how cheap this is. I think the Dodgers were dogs on Tuesday, and how infrequently the prices are going to be like that of the Dodgers. Well, I mean, $1.20 at home. I just can't take the Giants at that price. I like the Giants here, but to me, you're just getting screwed on the value to take anybody basically at plus 110 on the road at Chavez Ravine. I can't do it. I mean, I'm just too much of a stickler for getting my money's worth as far as bang for the buck's concerned. So I like the Giants, but I'm not going to bet it. It's going to be my best bet here on the show because there's not much else. But all I can do is call it a lean to the Giants and not a play I'm high on because of the price.
Yeah, Dave, I'm with you. You know, I've learned from actually a couple best bet losses that when you're going against the Giants, you want that big plus price as a reward, and plus 110. It's not exactly coating your pockets very well. I actually got a stat for you guys here. With the 3 teams in the NL West, you want to talk about strong performances here, talking about the Padres, San Francisco Giants, and LA Dodgers. Year to date, their run differential, positive 212 runs combined. Keep in mind, we're only at the 50-game mark this season. So I thought that was a heck of a stat.
That's the beauty of getting to play the Diamondbacks and Rockies as often as these teams will, because neither of those teams can play a lick. And you get a chance for some romps in those games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good point there, Dave. We got 1 game left, guys, and then we'll get the best bets at the end. If you're liking the content, please smash the like button. It does always help us out on YouTube. So we got the Texas Rangers and Seattle Mariners here for the nightcap for the show. 10:10 Eastern, 7:10 Pacific start here, Dave. We get Kobe Allard, the reliever turned starter, at least slated starter here for the Rangers, and Seattle going with Chris Flexen, the Korean baseball product here. Minus 110, almost a pick 'em price. 8.5 being the total in Seattle. What are you thinking in the nightcap, Dave?
You know, Flexen's not going to be an all-star, but he's clearly a better pitcher now than he was when he was with the Mets organization, getting down to the KBO for a year. And I did watch him on a frequent basis last year. He's become an improved pitcher. I think he's a lot more confident than he was with the Mets, and he's doing a pretty good job. Not superstar level or anything like that, but he's pitching well enough to keep his team in almost every start he's had, and that plays into the fact the Mariners have a good record when he's on the mound. They're 6-2, 3-1 at home, 3-1 on the road. Seattle doesn't have a lot of offense, but you know, if Flexen can go out there and give him six innings, 3 runs, you don't have to have a lot of offense to win games like that. The Rangers coming out of a bad series against the Angels. I think it was kind of a flat series for them coming out of a big spot against the Astros. They did not play well. They did make a good comeback yesterday, but they still ended up on the short end, 9-8. I don't know how long Allard's slated to go here. I would assume he's maybe 60 pitches, and then it's probably going to be it for him. I think the situation does favor Seattle here. Not wild about the price. You know, the Mariners are favored in the game, and I don't know that I want to get involved in that. But I do think Seattle, the right side to win this game.
Yeah, making an argument here towards the Rangers, Marco. I mean, Seattle just a 631 team OPS versus lefties. They are going against Allard, the lefty. But to Dave's point, not sure how long he's actually going to go tonight. So almost a pick 'em price in the nightcap. What are you liking here, Marco?
Yeah, I'm leaning to the Texas side here. Not strong, but things that I look at point me that direction. One, we got Seattle is returning home from the road trip. You know I like to go against teams in that spot. And as Dave alluded to about Texas, you know, that was a flat spot for them that last series. I look for them to do better here. They got roughed up pitching-wise the last 2 nights, giving up 11 and 9 runs. That's a little bit of a problem when they're going with Allard tonight because of the pitch count situation. Here is a reliever that got forced into the starter's role. This would have been Kyle Gibson's turn in the rotation, but he got put on the DL with a groin injury. So now, you know, they got to fill some gaps. And Allard's pitched okay out of the bullpen. I think he's had 10 relief appearances, ERA a little bit over 3. So not bad there, but how far are we going to get him tonight? The other thing that I'm looking at with this one, and as Dave said everything with Flexen, I agreed with everything he said up until one thing. His last outing, that's the question mark for me. Was so often when you see these young pitchers that do show some signs, some promise, when they have that game that was just god-awful ugly, do they bounce back like a seasoned veteran does? And that's what I have to see out of Flexen. His last outing, he only went an inning and 2/3. He got left for the sacrificial lamb. He gave up 8 runs in that game. Only 1 strikeout. Obviously, he only went an inning and 2/3. But if you look at his last 3 starts, and this is something that concerns me, especially when we talk about the younger pitchers should be having some advantages over the hitters, not seeing them that often. He's only got 3 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. So he's not fooling anybody. That's a concern to me. And we know the Seattle bullpens, we never like seeing that come into the game either. I lean to Texas just because of the situation. It's more of, pick the lesser of 2 evils maybe. And if I can get, Texas and not be laying a price, okay, that's going to be the lesser of the 2 evils. I'll take Texas here.
I like it, Marco. Good breakdown. Dave, I saw you shaking your head. Did you want to throw anything out in conclusion?
I'm irritated. I've got the Padres game on. Why would you've got first and second with 1 out. You just caught a break on a catcher's interference. First and second, 1 out. Tatis is up. How do you get thrown out trying to steal third base with Tatis up? I mean, what?
Yeah.
I mean, just dumb shit. It just drives me crazy. And, of course, Tatis draws a walk. So it should be bases loaded, 1 out. Instead, it's first and second, 2 outs. And Padres are playing great ball. Don't get me wrong, but man, that's just dumb.
Live analysis here. Life of a sports bettor. First pitch every Monday through Friday, 1:45 Eastern time. Come and join us. Wager Talk YouTube channel. If you're liking the content, please smash the like button. Shout out to the chat box. Joining us live, Brian Watson, Abby, Jessica, Dave, Nathan Cantor, all you guys. Welcome in. Thanks for just chiming in. What you're seeing here in baseball, throwing out what you're looking to bet. It does help us out. It helps out the viewers as well. So shout out to you joining us live. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's slate, what you're thinking, and maybe some of the disagreements here that we're having, which way we're looking, both Marco, Dave, and I, and see which side you agree with here in the comments below. But time for best bets here, guys. We got Marco D'Angelo up first, his 5% American League game of the month going tonight. Check it out, wagertalk.com. Marco, where are you going for best bets for the show, buddy?
I'll tell you what, this one's going to be probably the most automatic play on the card. But you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that is going to be the Chicago White Sox -1.5. And I wanted to go ahead and use that as the free play because I didn't want anybody to think, I got my American League game of the month tonight and say, oh, God, he's going with the lefty angle. That's it. No, I'm not doing that. But I am going to give you the White Sox as the free play. Going to go with the run line, -1.5 runs. Look at this. Baltimore, they're playing horrible right now. No question about that. They're sending Zimmerman to the mound. And, over the last 2 seasons, when the White Sox have faced a lefty, everybody knows the stat now. It's 25-3. Not only are they winning the games, they are absolutely smacking the shit out of the baseball. They're averaging 7.3 runs per game over those 28 games against lefties. So I'm going to give you a little bonus play. I'm not a guy that generally does team totals and such, but I was looking at the team total here. I'm seeing 4.5. So I thought, we might see a 5 here. Take the White Sox on the team total as well over the total because Zimmerman has got an ERA of 9.52 in his last 3 starts and a whip of 2.38. If he's putting 2 guys, an inning on against this lineup that smacks lefties, that's not going to be good. So White Sox -1.5 and a little bonus over White Sox team total.
Loving the bonus action as well. Looking towards the Sox side there for Marco D'Angelo. Dave Koken up next. #1 at Wager Talk last season in MLB. Check out his packages as well. NHL, knowing that, and golf as well, guys. So, Dave, where are you going for best bets for the show, buddy?
Yeah, no argument with Marco's analysis on that Orioles-White Sox game. I've watched Zimmerman, and he's a finesse lefty. That's not good against the White Sox Thunder, and they're probably hungry to get back on track offensively. They haven't been hitting the ball much. This might be the guy who gets them going. I talked about the Giants. I mean, if the price goes up later on, I might get involved with this. I certainly lean to the Giants. I can't really recommend it strong at plus 110 or 115. If it gets to 120, 125, I might put a few bucks on it. So I'll go with the Giants as the best bet here on the show.
Like it, Dave. Guys, I'm going for my best bet on the West Coast here. Angels and A's, Ohtani versus Bassett. Bassett, second time seeing the same lineup. I would look for the Angels to put up a couple crooked numbers against them, even though he has been good this season. And Ohtani, yes, the velocity did have a tick down, but I think there's a reason for that. His walks have been majorly cut down on what he started the season at, so not given free passes of recent, and I think that continues. We get a big plus price here with a top 5 lineup in baseball over the last week. Team OPS over 830, so we're getting a plus 136 underdog with a low total. Love that setup here, guys. So I'm going with the underdog in the Angels plus 136, 9:40 Eastern first pitch NL West game. So that's the best bets for you from Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo. I am Drew Martin. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Best of luck with your bets tonight, and we'll talk tomorrow. Same time, same place, the Friday show. Come back and join us right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Best of luck until then. Thanks for tuning in.
With a WagerTalk one-day power pass, you receive every play from every betting consultant for one full day at the ridiculously discounted price of just $149. What's better than spending the day watching and following a great slate of games? Watching, following, and winning those games. Get every WagerTalk expert and every game they release for that day.